Hello, beautiful viewers down south throughout the cosmos. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today I want to render my search history transparent as I strive to find stellar deals on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure loss. Without further ado, without further procrastination, let's allow the search to commence. Alrighty. We can refine our search by searching the Buy Now category and by subsequently sorting by price plus shipping, lowest first. Now ideally I want to procure TMNT action figures sold in lots for under $5 per figure. Is this possible? Let's find out. Off the get-go, we have 3 TMNT figurines of Leonardo. One seems to lack articulation. The other 2 are seemingly missing their accessories. This deal is relatively abysmal if you're adamant about completing your TMNT action figure collection with all of their corresponding accessories. Furthermore, I do not want 3 versions of the same figure, so I'll forgo that deal. Let's see what else we could stumble upon. Now ideally I want to obtain the 45-inch figurines. I'm not content with procuring the 2-inch figurines. They do not scale well with my 6-inch action figures. Alrighty, we have 4 movie-based TMNT figurines. That stand roughly 4 inches tall. Their aesthetics are abysmal. These figurines seem to be relatively shoddy. They seemingly have, at most, 5 points of articulation. I'll forgo the opportunity to purchase these figurines even though they're in my price range. We have the Mousers that stand roughly 2.5 inches tall. These figurines are not too bad, but they're a bit pricey for nearly $10. I'll forgo purchasing a lot in favor of a lot that offers greater value for your hard-earned money. I love the 2002 to 2007 TMNT action figures. This is the Ultimate Ninja. Who appears amid the TMNT Battle Nexus episodes. He is the nemesis of Leonardo. He's quite malicious and sadistic. His figurine isn't bad, however he's missing his corresponding weapons, and his second-hand market price of $11 is too hefty to afford. So I haven't stumbled upon anything remarkable or decent for a deal. If there's no make an offer option, then you cannot haggle the prices further down, which is unfortunate. We have the Snakeweed figurine, which isn't too bad. He's derived from the Nickelodeon TMNT 2012 series. I guess this auction is not too bad if you're in dire need of a Raphael and a Snakeweed figurine. They're a bit exorbitantly priced at $12.49, so I would forgo purchasing these figures at the asking price that the seller demands. I love these figurines. You get 2 of them. They stand roughly 4 inches tall. They're derived from the TMNT 2002 series. These are foot soldiers who work for Shredder. These figurines are of dastardly characters. They come with their corresponding accessories. I'd be willing to make an exception here. I purchased these figurines for slightly over $5 each. For $6.75. It's not too much of a bad deal. If you procure these 2 figurines, why, you may ask? Well, they're not shoddy. These are high quality figurines that are derived from the 2002 TMNT series, which is based off the TMNT comic books. So we have one mediocre deal. Nothing extraordinary thus far. We have vintage TMNT figurines of a sumo wrestler and the turtles with their wacky faces, as well as a Shredder without his clothes, for under $15. This deal lacks merit. Why? The figurines are missing their corresponding accessories for the most part, and who wants to obtain 4 more turtles? People need the villains of the series to add to their prodigious TMNT action figure collection, and not more homogeneous turtles. So overall, I'm relatively disappointed with these product listings thus far. These are the buy it now product listings. If you bid on these figurines, then other people are likely to outbid you. If you find a desirable product listing, I'd prefer to just buy the figurines now if I could afford them, rather than win a bid against other people for them, since other people will amplify the price. When they bid up the action figure loss. We have a robotic foot soldier in pristine condition. Definitely not worth over $15. I love the NECA TMNT figures that depict them based on their comic book adaptation. We have Rocksteady, over $15 as well. If you want any of these figurines, then always strive to haggle the price down. If the seller does not offer the buy it now option in his product listings, then you could always ask him to add it. So you may still have leeway to negotiate a deal. However, do not always count on it. Some sellers are reluctant to part with their figurines for under their buy it now asking price. So there's all contingent on the individual seller. Some sellers do not mind waiting months for the product to sell. Others are more adamant about parting with them right away, even if they lose a little bit of money. These hunks of plastic are relatively expensive to purchase. Their sculpts are relatively mediocre. Their shading, textures, and hues are not of the highest possible quality. These figurines are mediocre at best. They lack ample points of articulation. They're really not worth their asking prices on the second-hand market. They lack a high intrinsic value. I love the TMNT figurines from the 2002 series, but those figurines, they do not have as many points of articulation as the Marvel Legends produced by Toy Biz. They're not up to par with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines at the prices they command. So, it is what it is. Alright, we have a lot of 2003 TMNT figurines. They're missing their belts, which is unfortunate. This is not really my ideal lot. I want to obtain a multitude of villains from the series for under $5 each. So I'm relatively disappointed with what I've stumbled upon. See this deal right here, let's scrutinize it. One figure is missing a limb. Actually, multiple figures are missing limbs. Yeah, who wants to purchase defective figures, even at a discounted price? They belong in the fodder pile. These figurines can also be relegated to the fodder pile. Those figurines are just rubbish in all facets. They're missing their appendages. I wonder how they came off. They must have taken a beating. They cannot brook the repercussions associated with taking a beating. Action figures should be sturdy and durable. Their integrity should not easily be compromised. The 1990s TMNT figurines are clearly not of the highest quality. These figurines are missing their bells. If you have their corresponding accessories lying around or can obtain them for an extremely low price from other TMNT action figure lots, then this deal wouldn't be too bad. However, as a standalone deal without their accessories, these figurines do not merit their asking prices. At almost $20 for the entire lot of the 6 figurines. They're not worth over $4.50 each. It would warrant their asking prices if they came with all of their corresponding accessories, but without them, they lack the accessories to accentuate their features. They should be flaunted on a shelf with their corresponding accessories and not unarmed. They need their armaments. These are warriors, ninjas, valiant heroes that are meant to fight utilizing weapons and not with their bare fists. I haven't really found anything that appeases me too much. There's no stupendous deals here. I'm 12 TMNT figurines from the 1990s. Or mostly from the 1990s. We have one from the 2002 series, actually two from the 2002 series. Three that seemingly lack ample points of articulation. Again, nothing here really interests me. I am adamant about finding stellar TMNT action figure deals. I haven't come across any thus far today. This deal isn't that bad. You're getting 13 figurines without their corresponding accessories for nearly $36. So if you do the math, you're spending under $3 per figurine. Some people would be willing to compromise. They'd be willing to accept the offer. Why? Even though you're missing their accessories, they are not exorbitantly priced. If you purchase them in a lot, since you're paying under $3 per figurine. But this deal doesn't appease me. They have scuffs. They look to be a bit worn out. I guess there's an estate sale for them. This actually may be the first decent deal I've seen thus far today, for TMNT figures. You're getting a lot, mostly comprised of villains. You're getting 8 1990s retro TMNT figurines for $40. So for $5 each, this deal isn't too bad. Are they missing their corresponding accessories? They are for the most part. But considering that you're not just getting 8 turtles and are actually getting villains from the series, this deal isn't too bad. If you could haggle the price down to $35, this deal would be relatively decent. If you still need a Krang figure and other villains from the series. Their names are an enigma. I never watched the 1990 series in full. I've only seen a couple episodes. The 1990s TMNT series is appalling and egregious in all facets, in contrast to the 2002 TMNT series. I detest the 2012 TMNT series. This action figure auction isn't too bad. Let's see if we can find another decent TMNT action figure lot for a reasonable price. None of these deals appease me. You have the autonomy to make an offer here. Again, this deal isn't too bad. You get a plethora of characters from the show that are not just turtles, and you could haggle the price down. 11 figurines for under $50 that are just not turtles isn't too much of an abysmal deal, in my opinion. If you could obtain these figurines for $40 and are in dire need of them, then this deal has merit. So these figurines warrant an asking price of $40 or less, as the seller is willing to accept the flat rate of $40 offer. So this product listing isn't too bad, but overall I'm disappointed with the TMNT action figure loss. Available on eBay today. The deals are not extraordinary. They're not very enticing. So I'm going to forgo the opportunity to procure any of these figurines. I want to obtain them for under $5 each. It's unlikely that I'll stumble upon them at that price with their corresponding accessories. However, you never know what will transpire. The future's an enigma. Hopefully stellar deals for TMNT action figure loss will resurface on eBay. In the past, some deals were significantly better than the ones offered now. So I have no idea what will occur in the future. Prices fluctuate. These figurines do not sell. Perhaps they'll be relisted for lower prices, which will make them more affordable to buyers of the second-hand market. So I'm just relatively agitated and infuriated. I love Agent Bishop. He's not worth nearly $90. He's certainly not worth $87.49, even if he is scarce and hard to come by. You have a fodder lot here, and you have a lot of 30 of mostly turtles. Definitely not worth the asking price. So I just hope better auctions can emerge in the future for TMNT action figure loss. The deals right now are not optimal. Are they atrocious? They're okay. However, for the most part, they are abysmal. Some of them are mediocre. As an aggregate, though, they are abysmal. It is what it is. I just hope that their prices plunge in the future. I've looked at all the TMNT action figure loss in the buy now category. These deals are just dreadful. Why? The asking prices are way too high. In conjunction with them not being affordable, they're mostly comprised of turtle action figures. People want allies of the turtles and villains from the series. They don't want to have multiple Michelangelos and multiple Leonardos, or a myriad of Raphaels. So I'm not content with most of these product listings. I'm done harping on negativity. Hopefully better deals will be available in the future. You can get a lot of 100 turtles in pristine condition, unscathed, in their original packaging for nearly $8,000. This deal is just not very enticing. The asking price is way too high. Even though these figurines are new, they are not worth nearly $80 each. So those are my sentiments. Yours may be disparate from mine. Perhaps you're content with paying over $5 per figure for a lot of mostly turtle action figures that's devoid of their allies and their rivals from the series. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.